actually. Right here. All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Also want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone who's teaching this truth and sincerity, and also who rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered four corners of the earth, which you so-called Negroes, Latino, Hispanics, Native American Indians, the true Israelites. This is coming out that elect nation of Israel, and the nation that the Lord is only dealing with, okay? Brother Yuanathon from GMS Detroit. In this lesson, and I'm not sure what I'm going to entitle it, but it's getting into the vibration of, the topic is IUIC, And one of the things I want to talk about now they're getting into the true narrative and the true breakdown of the MOTB, And there's been tons of brothers, from, I believe, Bible Defenders, Elder Manata Zagba, South Carolina. We see the resumes of IUIC and, of course, the head, Nate. Now, and I'm gonna keep it a buck. While back, I told it was a person that came up to the camp, and yeah, I believe that brother is with us right now. He's an underling. He was, getting into different. He woke up to the truth, but he didn't know who to follow. So, it was my turn to speak, and I was like, listen, Nate has the perfect resume of a false prophet. Okay? So, 2 scriptures on that. Let's get Matthew 24. Because this is out of Yahweh Shai's mouth is himself. And it says, and many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. And when you look at the congregation of IUIC, they're a pretty big organization of Israelites, Hebrew Israelites, all right? But it's not just you knowing that you're an Israelite, it's also knowing the correct doctrine, the heritage. Like when you get into Romans, I'll grab that real quick. Romans, the 10th chapter. And we can start at 1. And it says this, brethren, my heart desire and prayer of Yahweh for Israel is that they might be saved. Okay, well, here's the point. It says, for I bear them record that they have a zeal of Yahweh, but not according to knowledge. All right? And that's basically saying, okay, yeah, we believe in the Most High. Yeah, he's out there. But when you, according to the knowledge, when you believe, there's a certain walk that you have to conduct yourself in. Okay? You can't believe, but you got to line up and expect to be saved. You can't believe that you a weed smoker or still a 2/3 nigga and expect it to be saved, man. When you get deeper in the scriptures, like I said, Revelations 1 and 3, it tells you, blessed he that readeth. So when you come into this word, you gotta know what you're getting into, and so when you hear these words in the scriptures, you gotta know what they are accurately. Salakia. I had tons of scriptures already queued up, but now even more is popping up in my head. But in Apocrypha, it tells you to seek the Lord, Let me grab it. I don't want to mess it up. It's locked. Yeah, I believe the page is missing. I gotta get a new Apocrypha. But it tells you seek the Lord, 100 times more, man. 10 times more. All right. And that really that's a characteristic that an Israelite is supposed to have. Once you come into the fold of what you're serving, you're supposed to seek him constantly, like you would do a woman. If you see that woman, you want to know everything. You want to know her curves, you want to know what turns her on, what turns her off, so on and so forth. We want to know what pleases the Lord, what pisses the Lord off, so we don't get judged. But nevertheless, let's get back on topic. Now, when you see Nate, and I stated before, he is the perfect example of a false prophet. So this is Jeremiah 14:14, and it reads, "Then the Lord said unto me, the prophets prophesy lies in my name. I sent them not, neither have I commanded them, neither spake unto them. They prophesy unto you false visions and divination, and things of naught in the deceit of their hearts." And a good example was, there's not going to be no Jacob's trouble. And the title, it just says it itself, Jacob's trouble. Yeah, everybody's going to, come into the fold of, one, being tempted with that MOTB. But the thing is, they want to X out, the children of Israel, the children of Israel, and X out the Messiah. Now, I had about 3 dreams about JT, and they were basically targeting us. They were mainly targeting us. And in one of the dreams, the second dream I had on JT, IUIC was perfectly fine because they were pushing out this kingdom's agenda. Now, I'm not saying that that's what's going to actually happen, but y'all were working for the enemy. But now, when you look at things going on and going forth, you see that the men of GMS was right, especially from our elders and apostles on down. All right. Grab this one, Ezekiel 33 and 33. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, I think it is 33 and 33. Yep, Ezekiel 33 and 33. And it says, "And when this comes to pass, lo, it will come, then shall they know that a prophet hath been amongst them." Because a prophet, the Lord only speaks to the prophets. And the prophet is supposed to relay the message. So when you see these things going on from, these earthquakes, hurricanes, anything that line up with the scriptures from who the Lord sent, that was a real prophet. But a prophet is not going to say a word of the Lord and then go back on it. Okay? It's another one. And this goes with Nate because he got 2 examples, man. So I'm going to grab 2 scriptures. Let's grab James 1 and 8. Brothers should know this one. Now, this is a scripture that brothers should really know, especially from the times that we're going in. So this is James 1 and 8. And it says, "A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways." And that's a perfect example of Nate, man. Saying one thing and then go back and say, hey, we had the little Benjamite, he was giving an interview about JT. And then you want to go back and change it. And you lied about it, and then you got caught up in another lie. All right? That's why scriptures say the Lord is not an author of confusion, man. And when you get those breakdowns in the MOTB, and we're going to touch on that, it's nothing but confusion. And now one of your men is kind of sounding like some he been watching a lot of watching some GMS videos. But nevertheless, let's grab another one. This is Proverbs 24 and 21. It says, "My son, fear thou the Lord and the king, and meddle not with them that are given to change." And that's another part of his resume, man. He was breaking down the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai perfectly. And now he's going back to Christ, and to the worst degree, he's saying that you can call the Lord whatever you want.